Monster, The Attack on Titan, Ex-Mute Listener Fanfic by Mokamaki. Chapter 45. It was just about to reach dawn, as you all slowly made your way towards Walmaria. With each step you took, you were getting more and more nervous. Not only that, but a strong scent of Titan, not coming from Eren, was approaching as you moved closer. You immediately knew that retaking Walmaria wasn't going to be easy. Something was going to get back there. You guys were not going to be alone. You managed to stop once after seeing a Titan sitting right in front of you. Anjay proclaimed that it was sleeping, but you didn't believe a word they said, and kept your distance while walking past the Titan. Suddenly, you all stopped. You were confused and looked up. You then realized you finally made it back. Back to the place where it all started. It felt like forever since you were here, with your grandparents. It looks nothing more than a ghost town right now. You rode your horses towards Walmaria and proceeded with the plan. And that was for Eren to seal up the giant hole in the wall that started it on. You all arrived on the top of the wall and silently gasped on how you could see everything from above. You never noticed how crowded and stuffed our world used to be before the Titans broke in. Can I see my grandparents' old house from here? You thought. Don't stop! You heard a familiar voice from behind. You looked behind to see Captain Levi running ahead of you all. You get to that outer gate! Right! Eren replied as he quickly followed after him. You were quick to follow after. While running, you immediately stopped as a new scent reached your nose. It smelled like ashes, like someone was cooking something. Armin noticed you stopped. Your name? What's wrong? He asked. You pointed to the area. Armin then noticed something. It was a burnt spot. You walked closer to inspect, and you grew tense. If this place was burnt, something must have been here. No, someone must have been here. The scent was faint, but you can make out 3 individuals being here. The enemies! They were at this spot! Which must mean they're still here somewhere. You and Armin both looked at each other. Fear and tension were evident in your eyes. You two quickly looked towards where Commander Erwin was, and waved over. After a while, a quick flash of lightning was heard. You looked towards the area of the flash and realized Eren was transforming right now. You quickly ran to the edge of the wall and watched as Eren crystallized himself and sealed the wall shut. He did it. He actually did it. You let out an excited mental screech. Way to go, Eren! Smokes from a flare gun were shot into the air, indicating that the seal was a success. Your name! Over here! Armin called you over to where he and Erwin was. As you made your way over, you could hear bits of their conversation. I see. Why don't you two look into it? Yes, sir. Come on, your name. You raised an eyebrow. We both know someone has been there. We need to investigate. Ah, right, you thought while nodding. You both zipped down from the walls and onto the ground. There's a smell of tea and abrupt in your nose. Armin watched as he let you investigate the scene. You bent down to the kettle, tray, and cups on the ground. The smell of black tea still lingered, not to mention the kettle was cold. It was certain that the enemies were there at the area of the walls, and it's most likely they still are, waiting for a chance to attack. Your theory was later proven correct that there were 3 people. There were 3 cups at the scene, each with the same scent of a Titan shifter. You picked up the cups and handed it to Armin. 3 cups? That means there were 3 people here, Armin said. You nodded and pointed toward the kettle. The kettle. It's cold. That means they dropped this not too long ago. You nodded again, smiling that Armin knew what you were trying to say. Armin sniffed the cups. What's the smell? It smells sweet. Armin held them up to you. You sniffed and immediately knew it was the smell of black tea. Smells like black tea, you wrote in your journal. You're right, it does, Armin replied. I'm impressed. You know just as much as I do, just by scent. Maybe even more. Good job. Armin complimented as he gave you a sweet smile. He then looked down. The enemies are Titan shifters, right? Do you know who they might be? Armin asked. Reiner, Berthold, and one I don't know, you wrote. Another Titan shifter? Armin asked. You nodded. It became tensely quiet. Let's go report this back to Commander Erwin. You nodded and the two of you zipped back up the walls. We investigated it. We saw 3 cups at the bottom of the walls and they all contained the same black liquid. Your name confirms it as black tea. So, we think that there were 3 people camping here before they arrived. I see. Was the kettle cold to the touch? Yes. That's troubling. You then began to discuss how quickly they were to react if they saw you all coming. But you 3 also wondered how the kettle was able to cool down in that amount of time before they arrived. They had to have known we were coming at least 5 minutes ago or more, which tells me they had plenty of time to prepare until our arrival. Armin suggested a scout may have told you beforehand, but you think otherwise. While walking through the forest, you smelled a new, unfamiliar Titan shifter scent for a few minutes before it faded. Your eyes widened. No way. You pulled out your journal, catching Armin and Erwin's attention. I think there's another one, a 4th Titan shifter, you wrote. Another one? I sensed another one in the woods earlier. One Titan shifter must have been keeping watch on our moves and must have alerted the other 3 we were coming, you theorized. You could be right. How else could they know we were coming? Armin replied. She could be entirely right. It was because of this ability that she was able to provide the evidence that Annie was the female Titan. If she was correct on that theory, then there's no reason to doubt her now, Erwin said. Oh? You thought. Erwin turned towards you. Have you been using this ability this entire time to identify which people are Titan shifters? Including Eren? He asked. You looked him dead in the eye and nodded with a serious face. Armin's eyes widened. Your name! Do you know what this means? Armin asked while holding your hand excitedly. What does... This means you're our key of being one step closer to the enemy, Erwin continued. Which is why I have an important task for you to do. I want you to stay here for the time being, to see if you can sense where our enemies are. By doing that, you might be able to keep us safe. Your eyes widened a bit. Were you finally being put to use? You nodded and instantly got to work. You looked over the walls, trying to sense anything out of the ordinary. Some people are arguing in the background, you thought, yet you ignored it. Wait, something wasn't right. Your eyes widened as you trailed down the walls. Armin and a few other soldiers went down and began to pat the walls, hoping one of the Titan shifters might be inside. A Titan shifter was in there. Reiner! You quickly moved and Erwin noticed your quick movement. Your name! He called out. But you began zipping down. You later realized your reaction time might have been too late. Hey! This part of the wall is hollowed here! One soldier called out. No! Get out of there! You thought. And just like that, Reiner emerged from his hiding place and killed the poor soldier in front of him. Everyone gave a look of shock, but mine turned to panic. You attacked from above just as he was about to attack Armin. I knew you would have noticed me sooner, your name. He called out your name, clashing his blade with yours. Your widened eyes stared back at Reiner's determined one. I should have killed you as soon as I realized who you were. Ada. Huh? You gasped, making your strength falter. Reiner quickly made a move before you focused back. He slammed you against the wall. And I'll do it now! Your name! Armin screamed. Reiner was seconds away from killing you when... Reiner! Captain Levi zipped down and stabbed Reiner in the neck, saving your life in the process. Armin quickly moved to grab a hold of you, holding you steady. Your name? Are you okay? He asked. A bright yellow flash absorbed Reiner as we all watched him transform. Your eyes widened after I saw the armored Titan laying on the ground. You realized it's not over. Just as Commander Irwin made a command, more bright yellow flashes of light appeared from behind us. You opened your eyes to find a row of titans with red glowing eyes formed in a circle outside the walls. And right in the middle of them was an ape-like titan, and a titan standing on fours carrying a giant cart. That's the third titan shifter, an ape-like titan? Amir was telling the truth, and Ryder and Bertolt knew that. Wait, the cart titan is the fourth, and inside of the barrel must be Bertolt. Shit, we're in trouble. I hope you weebs enjoyed Chapter 45 of the Attack on Titan X-Mute Listener fanfic by Mokamaki. If you just can't wait to read ahead, please feel free to visit the original link in the description below the video. Anyways, if you made it this far and you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and leave a comment down below telling me what you thought or what you'd like to see next. That's enough for me. My name is Bizarre, and I'll see you weebs in the next video. Cue the outro.
He's bizarre. He's bizarre. He's bizarre. Bizarre steps to his mic to make his little sounds. The weebs jump up and cheer, hit subscribe and stick around. ASMR most times with Minecraft on the side. Some modded games or Deku there to soothe you when you cry. Go ahead, close your eyes, kick back and put him on, and get even more bizarre through his Patreon. Need a friendly pal to get you through the night? Well, get headphones, take a listen, and maybe hit subscribe. He's bizarre.